I didn't like the last 2 books, but yeah, that first book, I was like, oh, Holly boys, okay.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
mad about those. Okay.
Move over, Avery. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Fangirl Feels podcast. Olivia.
My name's Tanya.
And we are Fangirl Feels, the show, the podcast that talks about all the movies, books, shows, all the content that gives us all the feelings. And today we have just a fun little thing that we're doing where we are going to go through a book tag. I follow a lot of booktubers on YouTube, and they have like a book recommendations tag. So there's a series of like 19 questions about a book that we would recommend. And we figured this would be a fun little episode to provide book recommendations based off these questions. So that's what we're doing.
Woo, I'm excited. We're trying to think of fun things to talk about. And Olivia and I think we originally started talking about like things we obsess over based off books. So this is a good like way to define our friendship.
I agree. I mean, books are like the most, like, I love movies and TV, although I like TV shows more than movies. But books are like always going to hold like a special place, right? They're just like special. They're more niche, and I think people like have a bigger passion towards books than shows and movies.
I mean, it's proven like our favorite TV shows, like if they're not based off a book, but they are written by good writers, like writing is important. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you find a good book, oof, no better feeling than a good book, honestly.
Truly something that you can't stop like listening or reading, you can't put down. There's no better feeling.
It's the best. And you like feel like a good human. You're like, wow, I've made it. I'm like good at life. I can read.
I'm smarter probably and prettier at the same time right now.
My skin is cleared. Like I'm better than everybody.
I smell great.
I smell great. I just like naturally, my sweat smells like lavender. Incredible.
Bizarre. Love this reference to Bridgerton.
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. I hate it. Not that again. Did we record that part of the episode? In the last season with like Anthony and Kate, and there was like a scene where he like smells her as she's walking away, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like these choices being made. I think
literally she smelled like lavender because the soap she uses is like jasmine or something. So.
Okay,
Kate Sharma.
Well, lavender's a great smell, so
it is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Not a question, but yeah, what's your favorite smell?
I like lavender.
Oh my gosh!
I also like musky scents. Like I do like the cologne. Me too. I don't mind wearing cologne. I think it smells good.
Musk, I realize, is like a good a scent that I enjoy in a candle.
Musk. Yes, agreed. Like sandalwoods, musks, balsam fir. I like to smell like a cabin in the woods, a man in the cabin in the woods.
Yes.
It's in Christmas, during Christmas time.
Yeah, specifically because right now it's all like the fun fruity flavors, which I don't love to smell. Like I don't want the sweet smell in my house. I want those dark, wintry cabin in the woods smells. Agreed.
Yes, we want the campfire smells. That's what I want. So first question, a book you will tell people is your favorite.
Ooh. You go first.
I would typically say Harry Potter is like my favorite, but then I'll probably say The Lunar Chronicles lately too. Like I love that series, so probably say that.
Yeah, I would say for a long time, obviously, like, and for context, like I didn't read books for a while. Like I stopped reading, like college, I read like textbooks, so I got back into reading recently. And so like most of my life, I would say it's been Harry Potter. I don't say ACOTAR, even though I've read those recently. I would say, probably Lunar Chronicles.
Oh, that's one of your favorites too? That's awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, ACOTAR's not one of my favorites. This actually will be the next question. This would be my response to the next question, which is a book that is your guilty pleasure. I would probably say ACOTAR for that.
Yep, Court of Thorns and Roses, and not so much Throne of Glass. There's not so much smut in that, but then also Crescent City. I've read both those books, so yeah, those would be our guilty pleasures. That like when I've mentioned it to people that don't read those books or haven't heard of it, it is a wild conversation because then they ask, "What's it about?" You guys, what do you say? I say it's fairy porn.
Knows the plot. the plot of these books. There's
Right.
like a king and a cauldron. That's all I know.
There's
I
a
don't even know if
war,
that's true.
you know what I mean? Like, so like fairy war, smut, sex times. That's it.
It's the worst. It's like it's not good, but it's fun. It's fun. The
It's
characters are
entertaining.
fun.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, but it's not, yeah. Okay, next one. A book everyone loved, but you didn't. Ooh,
Okay.
I gotta look up my Goodreads.
I know, Sam, I'm
Let's see.
going into. I do have answers for this though, because I've thought about this.
Yeah, me too.
Just because it's top of mind. I probably will have a different answer once I've looked through things. But do you remember that book with the girl who goes back in time, or she's lived forever and she has the stars on her?
Oh, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Yes.
Oh, sad.
I didn't
Yeah.
love it the same way. I thought it had flaws. I think there were loopholes, but I didn't love it the same way everyone else did. And there's been books where it's like they make Reese Witherspoon's list of best books of the year, and I didn't love it, but I'm like, why did everyone else like it? I did like this, and I can understand why other people like it, but I didn't love it. I will say I didn't understand like the as much hype as it got.
Yeah, it was overhyped. I liked it. I genuinely enjoyed it, but I think it was slow. It's not like one of my favorite books ever, but I liked it. It was enjoyable. I think for me, it's any contemporary novel. So I'm going to say People We Meet on Vacation. Have you heard of this book?
I have, yeah, I haven't these like beach reads. Yeah.
Yes. That one really didn't like. Oh, and The Spanish Love Deception. Oh my gosh. Have you heard of that one?
No, haven't even heard of it.
That one's another contemporary where it was like this girl who goes to like a wedding in Spain, and she brings her coworker who like is mean to her. I was like, I hate this.
Oh my
I
God.
finished it, but I hated it. No,
Rage reading. We've been there.
yeah. Okay, next one. A book you read the fastest. This is tough because I read a lot of books very fast when I was young. Let's look at my Goodreads again. I think I might say like one of the Lunar Chronicles books. I think I read those pretty fast. I think I read those within like a week. Like all 4 of them. So maybe I'll say that.
That makes sense. I think I flew through those too. And again, I listened to a lot of books that I'm about to mention, and I did listen to those, and I listened to those very quickly. My answer was, if no one's ever heard of Catherine Steadman, you should get on her books. I love murder mysteries, and so it's more contemporary, but it's good. Specifically if you listen to it, because she is an actress herself, the writer Catherine Steadman, and she writes these murder mysteries, and it's from her perspective. So everything that you're listening to is like you're putting yourself in her shoes, figuring out the story as you are, and I loved it. I think I flew through all of her books. They're not connected. I don't even think they're in the same universe, but I fly through them because I just can't stop listening to them. So good.
Ooh, okay. Nice to read. I say this and then I never read anything. But
I have so many of
good
those.
to know. Okay, a book that deserves more hype. I'm going to say An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. And this is like a YA fantasy, but I think it's really good. I'll be honest, I didn't love it was like a trilogy. No, it was a quartet. There's 4 books. I didn't really love the last book, but Ember in the Ashes is really good. I really enjoyed it. And I think that is like a series that just doesn't get a lot of love. So
yeah, I've never even heard of it. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
It's fun.
I mean, my answer, I think we can reuse answers because I don't think enough people know about Lunar Chronicles, and I think it's phenomenal. And I would say that doesn't get enough hype. Like, it should be getting as much or more hype as like ACOTAR, although I understand the genres are different. But I think it's
different genres.
It's just so good. I just think it's like more people would like it too, because there's a lot of like Disney adults who I think would be into that at the premise, of just like it's based off those grim fairy tales.
Yeah, I agree. I'm surprised it's not as popular as it is. It's just a fun series. I enjoy it greatly. Okay, number 6. A book that is becoming a movie / TV show.
A book that is becoming a movie. I don't know many other than ACOTAR. I can't think of anything other than like ACOTAR is going to be a show, and so again, not like our most favorite book, but like I do want to see how it's translated. How about you?
Yeah. And Throne of Glass is supposedly becoming one too. I think that will be really interesting. Throne of Glass
that's what I would be more interested in. And I remember I was reading it, and I thought literally that this felt almost like, because it's funny, I thought that I could see them on their journey the same way that Avatar: The Last Airbender, I could see the characters like walking on their path the same way that those characters did. And I think it would be an incredible, specifically animated show if Throne of Glass was an animated show.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, that honestly for the deserves more hype. Throne of Glass deserves more hype. I think it's a better book than ACOTAR, but
You're right.
yeah, but people don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it. They want
They
the
don't want to
smut,
hear it.
which is okay. I get it, but yeah.
It's kind of annoying, to be honest, though. Kind of annoying, but such is life. Okay, number 7. A book that you reread the most.
Big oof. I don't reread books. I mean, maybe Harry Potter,
Me
even though I
neither.
haven't reread those in literally decades. So if I were to move back to rereading, would it probably be those for like the fun time, good time feels? How about you?
I don't reread books, but Harry Potter is the only series I've actually reread. And yeah, so that one. So Harry Potter.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't reread them. Okay, number 8. A book from a genre you typically don't read.
I got one. I don't really typically listen to or read nonfiction. I'm a fiction girly through and through, 90% of the books I read. But when there is something that is nonfiction, I love Malcolm Gladwell. His books are pretty good just from his perspective and the way he writes. It's like he's crafting a story. But so the one book I'm referencing is The Bomber Mafia. I actually haven't finished it, but it's short, so I should soon. But from what I've listened to of it, it's pretty good. So and I'm pretty sure it's like based off his family story and some historical aspects as well.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't really read nonfiction, honestly. So that's good. I would say it's because I've been on a historical fiction kick. I'm gonna say Beyond the Lavender Fields, because that was a book I read recently. Since I don't read typically a lot of historical fiction, but I've been getting on it. So we'll say that one. That's the one about the French Revolution, which I liked. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, you flew through that. Nice.
Yeah. That one took me a few days. But then I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say 2. I'm also going to say Scythe, which was like a really sci-fi book. It's by Neil Shusterman. It's like a sci-fi about like people that are randomly chosen. Like death has ended, like no one dies anymore, but for population control, people are randomly selected to be killed by these like reapers. I forget what they're called. And yeah, I read that series. It's like a trilogy. And it was pretty good. The first one was really good.
Wow, no, I have never heard of that. Okay, I'm very interested though, based off your description.
Yeah, it's good. I read these in like 2018. Yeah, Scythe. And the sides are what they called. You get like they're like selected people who are like chosen to be the ones to kill people. And you can get like randomly selected to be killed.
Interesting.
Very different genre than I typically read. Very
Yeah,
sci-fi.
right.
Yeah, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Okay, let's see. Number 9. A book that deserves all the hype it gets. I might reuse an answer. Honestly, Percy Jackson. Well, no, I think Percy Jackson does deserve the hype. I think it's like a little bit overhyped. I think people are like feral over it, but
Yeah.
I think it deserves the hype. I think it's a good book series.
I never finished, by the way. I read there's 3, right? I've read the 2. I haven't finished the 3rd one. My bad.
Okay.
I don't know how it ends.
Fair. The original books are good. Like the first Percy Jackson and the Olympians are good. Heroes of Olympus had its issues. It ended not great.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm trying so hard to find. I was a part of a book club and I just don't have enough time to join, but I still like look at the books and read them. I just don't go to the meetings. 1 second. Give me 1 sec. I can't find. Cool. Can't find any messages. It's all good. All right. One that deserves all the hype it gets. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to my Goodreads.
You're good. I have another answer for this too, actually.
Okay,
One I partially said. Six of Crows. I think Six of Crows deserves all the hype.
And arguably, it doesn't get enough hype. So I know it's a TV show, but like, I feel like it needs more hype.
Agreed. Very good book.
You know what? That'll be my answer too, because I'm currently reading. I'm almost done with the second one. So that'll be my answer for that as well. It deserves the hype, but also needs more hype.
Yeah, it's like both. It's weird. It like deserves both. Okay. Number 10. A book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation.
I have an answer for this.
Yeah, me too. What's yours?
Oh, you do? Okay. The one that I recommend to most people is called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And I just loved it. I think that he did such a great job with putting yourselves in the protagonist's shoes. And it's possible I was in a place in my life where I was trying to figure out what direction to go in. And I felt like that book did a good way of explaining or making you feel that other humans feel this way too, and you're not alone, and it's okay, and that's just life. And so I thought it was good. I recommend it to people when they ask me like what to read, and hopefully they like it. I don't know, but it's short and it's fun. It's cute.
Oh, you have recommended that book to me. Yeah, it's on my list. I just haven't read it yet, but
One day.
it's a good one. One day. For me, it's the Lunar Chronicles. This is if anyone comes up to me, I'm like, read the Lunar Chronicles first. Like, that's all I got for you. Okay, number 11, a book that has your favorite characters.
Oh my gosh, favorite characters? That's tough.
It is tough. I love all these characters. Just to be different, I'm gonna say, in the Infernal Devices series, there is a character called Will Herondale. I think that's his name. And he's one of my favorite characters in fiction. So I'm gonna say him. Just to be different, so I don't say like Lunar Chronicles again.
Again, yeah, Harry Potter next.
Harry Potter, yeah. So we're gonna say him. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, I'll also switch it up. There's a writer from Ohio, Kristen Lepionka, that needs more hype, and also wrote a series about a like Hercule Poirot type of detective. Her name's Roxanne Weary, and she has 4 books out. And I often think about what Roxanne's doing, like if she was a real person. Like I often think about I go back to like this writer's Instagram page to see if she's written a new book, because I want to see what's happening with her life. So I'll say that Roxanne Weary.
Nice, I love that. That's cool. I love those things, small authors. That's really cool. Okay, number 12. I can't count. Wish you could live in.
Oh, very easily. I've thought about this a lot because Avatar: The Last Airbender is also a comic book series. I'll say that. But I would obviously have to have powers, and my powers would be waterbending. So what about you?
Wait, can I steal that answer? Does that count?
Yeah.
Can I steal yours
That
also?
counts. There's no rules, Olivia. We make up the rules.
That's true. It's a great one. I absolutely will do the same.
And what's your bending style? Have we not talked about this? What's your bending style?
I'm an airbender.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an airbender. Without question.
Yeah.
I would have been a monk that died. Or a nun, I guess. Rest in peace, me.
I would have specifically been Katara. I see myself in her a lot.
I love Katara. Yeah, I'm either a airbender or waterbender, but I'm most likely because I relate to Aang the most. I love Katara, but I am an Aang. Yeah,
makes sense. I love that like horoscopes, we can guess whose bending style is who. Like I could tell one of my friends is for sure a earthbender for sure. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can just tell, and they'll tell you what is yours, and they'll tell you, and it's like I knew this. Like horoscopes.
Yeah, it's like I can tell who. It's like a personality test. Absolutely.
Yeah. For you, I was gonna guess. I was gonna say air or water. So fits.
Yeah. I'm one of the, but I think I'm air. Yeah, I think I'm most likely air because it's very passive defense. I think I'm air. No, that's a good one. Okay, a book that you thought you would hate but ended up loving.
We might have the same answer here. I wonder if you already have an answer, but I was gonna say the Inheritance Games. I didn't think I'd love it, but and I don't love it. I would say I became obsessed with it. Yes. Is it the best writing? No. But do I want to keep figuring out what's going on with these characters? Yes.
Yes, agreed. I didn't like the last 2 books, but yeah, that first book, I was like, oh, boys. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mad about those. Okay.
Move over, Avery. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that one. Okay. A book that made you cry.
I have an answer. I messaged you on Slack a picture of me crying, but I can't find the book name. Let me go to Slack.
Oh, yes, you did. You did. What was that?
Okay.
Well, you texted me a picture of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You cried during that.
Okay. It was. Please still be here. We message each other too much, Olivia.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I found a selfie of me crying. It was around that time. Okay. I have a selfie. Olivia, if you ever get on my bad side, I got a selfie of you crying. Actually, I think you posted it.
Oh no.
And now you have one of me too. So yeah. Okay. I got an answer. So I read The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna, which is a historical fiction book. And it's about the labor movement from the Dust Bowl era, early, after the 1920s, 1930s. And I didn't expect to cry, but I cried real hard at the end of that.
Oh, that's sad.
I know.
Oh, man.
How about you?
I think I'm going to say The Book Thief. This is a really old a book I read years ago, but it's like a book about like World War II. It's like takes place from the perspective of death. You can tell already. You'll cry in it. So I'm going to say The Book Thief.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They made it into a movie, I think. It's a pretty old book. I read it like in middle school, but that's just the first book I could think of. I actually don't cry that much in books, arguably. Like, I'll be honest. But
I'm surprised by that.
I know. I'm like, the other book I'm thinking of is The Host by Marissa Meyer, which is kind of embarrassing.
Okay.
Which is actually good. Actually was a good book. She gets hate on for Twilight, but The Host was actually pretty good. And I remember crying in that one too. Okay, number 15. A book that you wish you could read for the first time.
Honestly, I know we keep mentioning it, but like I wish I could go back and reread Harry Potter for the first time, or those books that like, and I've never read Lord of the Rings, but I've seen the movies, right? So I know what happens. But like if I could go back and like rewatch those movies or read those books and not know what happens, like those just influence my life in such. And Avatar: The Last Airbender too. If I could go back and rewatch those for the first time, that would change my life, I think.
I
How about
agree.
you?
Yeah. Harry Potter for sure. Just to like, yeah, experience those again. Those were the books that like got me to read. So Harry Potter for sure. They're just great. Yeah, I think Harry Potter.
It influenced our generation in so many ways. It's hard to not. I know we're being basic by using that book, but still, I don't care. Like it was inherent to like our childhood. You know,
It was so integral to it. Like integral to it. I every year was waiting for that book like to come out in the summer. Like it was just so important to like my development as a human.
right?
Yeah.
Lining up at Borders. Rest in peace, Borders. Yeah.
Yes, I was there for the last book. I stayed up till midnight at Borders. Like, yeah,
You make
so
friends. You dress up. Yeah. Ugh.
good. So good. Yeah, I loved it. Okay, a book that could cure your reading slump.
Is it the Lunar Chronicles? Because that's what got me.
It is what got me. It is what got me. That is, yeah.
But I actually have a different answer. So I didn't read for a long time, and the book that actually got me back into like reading or listening to books was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Honestly, most of her books, like once I started reading one of her books, I just like flew through her other books, which all are in the same universe. So I would say if you're trying to get back into reading or listening to a book, Daisy Jones and the Six, which is now a series. Honestly, the TV series was not as good as like reading it. So listen to that. They have great voice actors. I would say that helped me at least get back into reading.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. It is a popular book series. I'm also going to say a different answer looking at my Goodreads. I'm going to say The Ember Queen. This is a very niche book, but this book got me into reading again last year out of a book slump. So just to change my answer, not be the Lunar Chronicles, I'm going to say The Ember Queen. Just so that I'm not saying the Lunar Chronicles.
I'll check it out. No, I love that we're doing this because I'm definitely going to add these to my list.
Okay, we're at the last three. 17. A book you think everyone needs to read.
My answer is this book that was also on John Green's, famous writer John Green, brother of Hank Green, list of like favorite books over the past year. It's called Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And I think it's such an incredible book. I didn't think honestly that I'd like it at first. It does move kind of slow, but I mean, I think I tend to gravitate or think that books are my favorite if I think about it again afterwards. And I think about the book often and what those characters were going through or are going through. And I could kind of relate to it because I work in tech. It's about video game developers. And I just think it's an incredible book. The writing style is amazing.
Yeah, you've told me about this. I need to read it. The worst reader in the world. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to say Pride and Prejudice. I think that's a book everyone needs to read.
Ooh.
That's my answer.
I've never read it. Oh my gosh.
Really? You should read it. It's actually good. I don't typically like those old books, but Pride and Prejudice is a good read, and it's a great book. I think everyone should read it. Just like as a necessity to reading, you should just read Pride and Prejudice.
All right, adding Pride and Prejudice to my Goodreads.
to my TBR.
My TBR.
It is good. I'm beginning to read more of her books too, like more Jane Austen books, but at the very least, Pride and Prejudice.
Nice.
Okay, 18. A book you think would make an amazing movie.
You know what? I'm gonna give another like true crime sort of book, but there's a book called Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, and there's multiple books in the series. I think she could just condense it into one movie and it'd be great. I think it's a really compelling story. I think you follow this character that I think a lot of people can relate to because she's kind of like nerdy and mousy. But I think, and there's also like a love story involved. I think it'd make a good movie because I think like I'm obsessed with those. What is it? The Glass Onion.
Yeah, Knives Out.
Yeah, Knives Out. Like,
Yeah.
I think they make for good movies. I don't know if I'd rewrite Knives Out, you know? So I think that, yeah, the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson.
I started reading it. I didn't finish it. And then I lost my Libby access to
Oh,
it. No. So I got to get back on it.
It does start out slow, but yeah, I get
it does.
What about you?
I'm going to say Children of Blood and Bone. This is a series by like a Black author. It's like it takes place in I don't actually, where is it? I'm trying to find out my Goodreads, but it's kind of like an Avatar: The Last Airbender book with like a African twist, and I really like it. I thought it was really good. It only has like the first book out. The second one I think is coming out soon, and I think it was a good series. It kind of has like a Zuko-like character. It has like an Aang character-ish. Like, yeah, I think Children of Blood and Bone would be a good one.
I think you've talked about this with me. Okay, I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. I think it'd be a good movie for sure. Okay, so number 19. A book you wish everyone would give a shot, even if it's out of their comfort zone.
Oh, okay. All right. Done. This is a perfect answer for this. I read this book in my book club called This Is How It Always Is. It's a book about a kid who ends up using the descriptor trans later on, but she doesn't know that's a word as a kid. And I think this is something that a lot of people are going through as parents who are raising a kid who is having gender dysphoria. But the funny thing is like your kids don't know what gender is. They're just kids. And so when they're expressing thoughts of like, you're putting a dress on me, but that doesn't make sense, or vice versa, right? Like, I don't want to play baseball or whatever. How do you raise that kid to be a happy, healthy kid who ends up accepting themselves and has society accept them? And it's by Lori Frankel. And this moved me. I want to reread it. It moved me so much because I'm a pretty progressive person. I'm a leftist, and I obviously believe in trans rights. And by the way, there's a lot of bills coming out that are anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ+, which are terrible. And I think this would be a good book for everyone to read. And I think it fits well within this question because I heard that another book club, a friend of mine was in another book club that has a mix of women, and some women are conservative, would probably be anti-trans. But one conservative woman read this book and it moved her so much because she's a mother that she wrote to the writer about how much she loved it. And I just think that's major. Yeah.
That's really sweet. That's a really good answer. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. What did you say this was called again?
This Is How It Always Is. And the author is Lori Frankel.
I'm going to add this to my Goodreads now. How It Always Is. That's really sweet. I don't have an answer. I don't know. That's just a good answer regardless. I don't know what to say.
That'll just be it. Yeah.
This is the answer. I don't know. I don't have anything nearly as profound. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything. We're just gonna go with your answer. It's fine.
All right, sounds good. Everyone just read that. Yeah.
Just read that book. It's fine. Okay, number 20. A book you'll never forget.
This is the hardest question.
This is a really hard question because arguably I don't forget. Well, besides ACOTAR, I don't forget any book.
That's what I was gonna say. Is you and I, we have obsessive personalities. Okay, so we don't. They're all logged and stored in my brain, and they're not leaving. So
it's true. Even if I don't remember the details, like I still know the book. Like I don't forget the book.
And it's like we shouldn't be looking at our book reads or Goodreads or Libby because we should be remembering it, right? So it's probably gonna be a repeat answer. I don't know. I just think like there's a reason I tell everyone to read The Midnight Library because I never forget it. And I don't know, like obviously Harry Potter, but everyone knows about that. Throne of Glass was pretty good.
Yeah.
What's coming to mind for you?
I'm like literally looking at my Goodreads because it's like all of them. I'm gonna say Crooked Kingdom specifically. Crooked Kingdom, because I think about that finale, that final book all the time. And that actually, I should have said that as a book that made me cry, because that's actually not true. Crooked Kingdom actually did make me cry. I forgot about that. Yeah, that book, I will never forget it. There's like a particular scene at the end with Inej that I think about all the time. Like, yeah.
I've been afraid because you've told me that you have cried at the end of this book, and I've been afraid what it's about, and I'm not happy that it's an edge. So maybe that'll be my answer soon too, guys. I'm almost done.
I don't want to spoil anything for you, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, don't tell me anything. I don't like spoilers.
Okay, I won't tell you anything.
Okay, if there was another one, this I will never forget in a weird way. Not that it's my favorite, so maybe this is a good answer, but have you heard of Mexican Gothic? This was also probably my answer for books that don't deserve all the hype, but I also will never forget it because it's just so weird. The way that people never forget Pan's Labyrinth, if they've seen that, I think that like it just sticks with you. It's a bit creepy and odd. It's just odd. And it's really the way that this writer describes scenes in an illustrative way makes you it's an easy way to like visualize what's happening, and it almost to its detriment. It's kind of gross sometimes, but I don't think I'll ever forget it. And it's a quite popular book. A lot of people mention this as like a must-read book within your lifetime. So I don't think I'll ever forget that one.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I like your interpretation of this question. Like, not necessarily favorite, just like this book stuck with me.
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, like not to my choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the book tag.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we got through it quickly. It was fun. Got some books out there. I'm glad we tried to get creative with our book choices.
Yeah.
Not just like Harry Potter, the Lunar Chronicles.
Yeah, Lunar Chronicles all the way down.
All the way down. Every answer.
Thank you so much for listening to our episode. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen, and also maybe watch if you're watching on our YouTube channel. So check us out. We have another YouTube channel. We got the main name Fangirl Feels Pod, but we also have some videos on Olivia's channel. You should just follow her regardless. So check us out on VVIVAA and also Fangirl Feels Pod. And you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and do we have any other socials?
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, all three. We'd love to interact with you, talk to us. We love feedback. We are researchers, okay? We're user experience researchers, and like it hurts our heart when we don't get user feedback. So let us know, even if you hate something, we'll change it. We want to grow. We love data points. So be our data point and our friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. See you again. Goodbye.
Until next time.
Until next time. 3, 2, 1, bye.
Bye. Bye.